everyone, I'm Elaine from EBTM. So today I've had a really good question for one of my lovely customers in America. They've actually said to me, asked me about advertising and actually measuring hard copy adverts. So the question proposed is, advertising in printed publications can be costly. What is the best way to measure the successfulness of your printed ads that are floating around in publications? So really good question. So there's a few things that you need to have a think about, and I find advertising, I used to do loads and loads of advertising. We used to spend a lot of money on advertising, but as the internet has grown, social media has grown, you'll find that it's less and less now, and also measuring it is extremely difficult. However, advertising is still necessary, so it needs to be still part of your marketing mix. So there's a couple of things that you need to think about. Number one is adverts should not be on their own. So that's the first thing, is keeping them integrated with the rest of your marketing. So if you're doing a social media campaign, if you're doing some sponsored adverts on LinkedIn, if you're doing some banner adverts on some of the publications like LiDAR News or GeoConnection, or you're actually going to be attending a show like InterGeo's coming up in October, then printed adverts can be quite good. Okay, so the first thing is adverts should not be on their own. The second thing is the goal is to always take people to your website. So that is the first thing that you need to think about for everything. So you need to have what they call to actions, or CTAs, on your adverts. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples here. So again, in the previous post I talked about was the call to actions. So again, with Farrow's advert, if you again look at the bottom here, they've actually got a very nice call to action here, which is taking you to a live demonstration. And actually, if you look at the end of their web address, it's got farrow.com/focus. That's actually taken them to a landing page. So when you come to measure your adverts in paper copy adverts, you can track it through this unique URL. So you can actually have unique URLs for printed adverts, so it's easy then for you to measure it. Another good one is Trimble. I've done one here, and again, their unique URL is taking you to a specific page, as you can see here. Okay. The other thing as well is think about where your target audience are in the buying cycle. So if your adverts are related to a specific market segment, like Farrow's is here, theirs on about profit and getting the job done as quickly as possible, so that the contractor can make a better profit margin. So again, focus the market. Your adverts will be much more, will have higher hits through unique URLs if your advert is focused on the right market segment, and also the buying cycle. So within the buying cycle, you're going to get people who are interested in this new technology, or they actually know what they're going to buy and they want to go straight to the information. So you can have a couple of call to actions. And what I tend to do is, when you get people to your website, which is the landing page, unique landing page that you have, on that page, then have different call to actions related to different types in the buying cycle. Okay? So do test the content. So when you're playing with the content, test it online and test it in adverts. It is a lot more costly. However, have the call to actions on there. You can also use QR codes. So that's another, with the little blocks, the little squares, and you can hover over them with your smartphone. That's another good one. Have different call to actions. So again, try different call to actions out depending on where they are in the buying cycle. Unique URLs, I've got that down, and specific landing pages. So when they go from the printed advert to the website, brilliant. Don't publish one-off adverts. So if you guys are interested, this is a fabulous book. And I don't know how to pronounce this guy, Eric Duplessis, or I'm not quite sure, he's South African anyways. But a really good book, and it's about the psychology of advertising and how we actually pick things up when we're reading magazines or we're attending an exhibition. Like InterGeo's coming up, so there's going to be loads of noise, loads of things to look at. And he's got a couple of little things in here that I pointed out. So the first one he's put here is, the more likely situation surely is that consumers absorb something from the advertisement. So subconsciously you will pick something up, perhaps without consciously thinking about it. if at all, at any time. Then, at the time they are making a purchase decision, they use that impression to influence their choice. Okay? And then the other one here, which is quite good, again, I've mentioned it in my little, just in the overview I give you. It does not work for an advertiser to only show an advertisement once. Then sit back and wait for people to rush off and buy your product. Wouldn't that be great? Be so good. First, the one showing will not have caught all the potential audience. And second, most people need a few exposures to an advertisement before they establish a firm impression. And he also talks as well here that, it's also clear that it is not true that more and more advertising will produce more and more results. There's likely to be a saturation point. So that's another thing. So it's getting that happy medium. So we usually work on, if we're doing advertisements with anybody, it's usually about 3 to 6 months. So you're looking at about a 3-month program related around your campaign. So that's today's little overview on generating sales leads and, of course, the question of advertising and how we measure it. Thank you.